Understanding human nature, the role of oxytocin, in group bias, and violence in society. Human history is filled with wars, aggression, and violence, showcasing our innate ability to plan and execute acts of violation and aggression. Despite the progress we have made through evolution and domestication, our biological inclination for violence remains when it serves our benefit. However, it's essential to note that while violence is prevalent throughout the animal kingdom, including our close relatives like chimpanzees, humans exhibit a unique form of violence. Unlike animals, human aggression is not solely reactive and impulsive. It can be premeditated and planned. This capacity for proactive and organized violence, combined with our growing technological prowess, raises an important question. Have we evolved to become a species capable of causing catastrophic harm? Planned violence can target the members of our own groups, but most of the time it is directed towards the members of other groups. The question that arises is if our belonging to the group is so crucial for the motivation behind violence, what is it that makes us feel that we belong to a particular group? What is it that creates the distinction between us and them? Even randomly dividing people into different groups can cause a sense of sympathy and favoritism towards our own group members. This grouping is not necessarily based on our interests or special connections. It can happen randomly, yet it makes a significant difference as people start showing favoritism towards their own group. As humans, we have an innate desire to be part of a group. Our brains are wired to seek belonging and connection with others. Our strong tendency to belong to a group can lead us to believe false beliefs and even resort to violence for the satisfaction of our own group members. This natural inclination becomes evident in the act of planning violations, which often target individuals outside our own group. Known as in group bias, this inclination reflects our tendency to identify with and support those who are similar to us or whom we perceive as part of our social circle. In group bias can arise even in situations where the group affiliation is arbitrary or temporary, leading to solidarity and cooperation within the group, but also potentially fostering discrimination or prejudice against those outside of it. Within our complex human nature, certain brain regions and hormones play pivotal roles in shaping our social behaviors and connections. One hormone that plays a significant role in social bonding is oxytocin, which is released in the hypothalamus in the brain. Oxytocin fosters a sense of affiliation and strengthens social bonds among group members. However, interestingly, when it comes to individuals who do not belong to our group, oxytocin can contribute to a sense of emotional distance or even a reduced sense of affiliation. It can affect our perception and behaviors, potentially leading to decreased empathy or connection with those outside our group. Despite its positive impact on in group relationships, oxytocin's effects can be different when it comes to individuals beyond our group boundaries. Another important aspect is the insula, a brain region with multiple functions. One of insula's roles is triggering feelings of disgust. It has evolved to protect us from consuming harmful or spoiled food. However, the insula has also developed to respond to morally repugnant behaviors, guiding us away from actions that go against our moral principles and social norms. Interestingly, when we encounter behaviors or people who violate social norms and elicit feelings of dislike, the same insular region that triggers disgust in response to spoiled food becomes activated. This activation evokes a similar sense of disgust towards these individuals, showing how our brain responds to both physical and social situations. It's essential to exercise critical thinking and consider ethical principles alongside this instinctual response. Sometimes this feeling of disgust can lead to aversion or even hatred towards those who are different from us. Recognizing this bias is crucial, and promoting empathy and understanding can help counteract these negative tendencies. Now, let's dive deeper into how this in group bias functions and how it can be used to fuel discrimination and violence in different social and historical contexts. Human history is indeed full of examples where dictators and authoritarian leaders have exploited this group bias to manipulate and control their followers. They have utilized the powerful human instinct to belong to a group to create a sense of unity and loyalty among their supporters. By portraying certain individuals or groups as outsiders, as them rather than us, they foster feelings of disgust and dehumanization towards these perceived enemies. This psychological tactic makes it easier for them to justify acts of violence, discrimination, and even mass killings against those they label as adversaries. Does this tendency towards dehumanization and violence have its roots in human nature, as if our brains are almost seeking violence and war? Amidst the brutal conflict of the First World War in 1914, something extraordinary occurred: the Christmas truce. British and German soldiers, entrenched in opposing trenches, heard Christmas carols being sung from the enemy's lines on Christmas Eve. Moved by the festive spirit and a longing for peace, soldiers from both sides began singing in response, bridging the divide between them. As Christmas morning arrived, an act of camaraderie took place. Despite being ordered to fight, soldiers decided to lay down their weapons, venture into no man's land, greeting each other, exchanging gifts, and even playing football together. The wish of soldiers to befriend their enemies challenged the us versus them division, but their military leaders and politicians were not willing to stop the war. Despite attempts to suppress further truces, the Christmas truce remains a powerful symbol of the human yearning for peace and friendship, highlighting the complexities faced by military commanders in managing emotions during wartime. In that extraordinary moment of the Christmas truce, as soldiers exchanged gifts and played together, the us and them division disappeared from their minds. They felt a shared bond and humanity, leading them to dream of ending the war and embracing peace, transcending the barriers set by leaders and governments. Understanding the function of oxytocin and the evolving role of the insula can shed light on our behaviors and responses in social contexts. By recognizing our biases, promoting empathy, and striving for inclusivity, we can mitigate the risks associated with division and work towards a more compassionate and harmonious society. So, have we evolved to be the architects of our own destruction? Or can we harness our unique traits to build a world of empathy and understanding? The answer lies in how we navigate the intricate balance between our instincts and our consciousness as we journey through the complexities of human nature. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.